Alright guys, I'm back with my review of WWE Friday Night Smackdown for August 2nd, 2013. Alex Riley is on commentary this week with Michael Cole filling in for JBL. So they seem to be doing a okay job so far. We see Alberto Del Rio in the ring, and he says that he would have picked Brock Lesnar to be his opponent for SummerSlam, but he's already got a match. So he picks Ricardo Rodriguez. And Vicky comes out and she says, "I'm disappointed in you, and you're going to face the winner of tonight's triple threat match consisting of Christian, RVD, and Randy Orton. So whoever wins that match is going to be Del Rio's opponent at SummerSlam." And then we get Cody Rhodes versus Jack Swagger in a very short match. Cody basically steals the win with a roll-up and then runs out of the ring. And he's definitely in babyface mode now. Zeb Coulter was trying to cut one of his promos. Cody slaps the mic out of his hand, stuff like that. So I thought it was okay, I guess, but the match, there really was no match. There was nothing to this at all. So Cody's backstage cutting a promo. He says that he's not pissed off that Sandow screwed him at Money in the Bank. He was just getting fed up with Sandow's arrogance. Sandow attacks Cody from behind, beats him down, and officials have to carry Sandow off. So he completely lays Cody out here. I thought this was really good. Then we get Big E Langston versus Sin Cara. It actually wasn't that bad because it was mostly just Big E dominating Sin Cara to look strong. I thought that was fine, and then Big E wins with the big ending. Then we see Renee Young talking to Caitlyn, and she's like, "Here with the #1 contender to the Divas title, Caitlyn." And Layla's here too. So Caitlyn talks about how she's from Houston, and then Layla puts over Caitlyn, says she's never seen a diva with as much drive and determination, and they hug and everything. I've heard rumors that Layla's going to turn heel and turn on Caitlyn. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, and I think that's a good idea. I think Layla's really good in the ring, and they should at least use her when they can, instead of just putting her with Caitlyn. But then we get Vicky talking to Del Rio, and he's pissed off that he didn't get to pick his opponent for SummerSlam. Brad Maddox comes up and says, "I think Vicky, I think you made the right decision," and he tells Del Rio that he's going to be under his authority on Raw, and I could see Maddox doing something to undermine Vicky's decision here, whoever she chooses. I could see Maddox doing something like letting Del Rio pick the stip, maybe on Raw, but yeah, that's pretty much it so far. Alright, so we get CM Punk versus Fandango in what was a really good match, actually. They got a lot of time here. It wasn't like CM Punk just dominated Fandango. Fandango looked really strong in this match, so I liked this a lot. The finish was pretty creative, too. Punk hits a superplex on Fandango and then turns into the Anaconda Vice. Fandango immediately taps out. Then we see Renee Young talking to RVD. And then Christian comes up. And then Randy Orton comes up, and they do this thing where they're finishing each other's sentences. So Christian's about to say one more match, but Orton interrupts and says loss. It was goofy. I didn't like this because it felt like everybody was just reading a script. Like, no emotion, really, and RVD was the worst. He's like, "I'm here for the gold." It was bad, but I have to say that out of these three guys, I'm actually hoping that it's Christian versus Del Rio to take place at SummerSlam. Probably could get a decent match with Orton or RVD, but I think the best match outcome is going to be Del Rio versus Christian. So we get AJ versus Caitlyn, and this is Caitlyn's big rematch for the Divas title since she beat AJ on Raw, I believe. So they're having their match. Layla's at ringside. AJ and Caitlyn start brawling on the outside, and Caitlyn beats down AJ and acts like she's going to spear her into the barricade. And Layla steps in between them and says, "No." And Caitlyn's like, "What the hell are you doing? Get out of the way." And AJ attacks Caitlyn while she's distracted, throws her in the ring, gets her in the Black Widow, and Caitlyn taps out. So Layla just cost Caitlyn her big rematch for the Divas title here. Layla and AJ skip around the ring together and then leave. So I hope they have something really good planned to explain this, because it really just feels random and makes no sense. Like, why would Layla align herself with AJ. So I'm curious to see how they explain this one. But yeah, Layla pretty much turned heel here. Alright, so we get RVD versus Christian versus Randy Orton to determine who faces Del Rio at SummerSlam. Del Rio comes out and says that Ricardo would have been a better opponent than any of you three, and he's looking forward to watching them beat the hell out of each other. So they have a really good match here. At one point, RVD just kills Randy Orton with one of those kicks. I mean, so much that he had to stop him. He was like, oh shit, and was asking if he was okay. He's just so reckless with those damn kicks. But there was another cool spot where he goes for Rolling Thunder and Orton catches him with a power slam mid-Rolling Thunder. I really like that. Orton hits the RKO on RVD, and then he goes for one on Christian, but Christian counters with a pin, wins the match. So I was really happy Christian went over here. I think if you want to get the best match possible for the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam, it's got to be Del Rio versus Christian. So they should have a great match at the pay-per-view. And Orton and RVD shake Christian's hand afterwards because it was a great match and everything. And then Matthews is trying to get some thoughts from Christian. Del Rio attacks him from behind, lays him out with the kick to end the show. So that was SmackDown this week. I actually thought it was a pretty good show. You had the really good CM Punk Fandango match, and then the triple threat match was also really good. And I'm glad they're finally doing something new with the Divas. They're finally using Layla again. It may not be the best storyline-wise, but at least it's not AJ versus Caitlyn yet again. So at least it's something new. But anyways, that's my review of SmackDown this week. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye.